A divide by 4 is a mechanism that can take one row of marbles and divide them up on 4 equal rows. This is the current divide by 4 on the Marble Machine X, and it's not working really perfect. It sends more marbles to some channels, and over time that error accumulates, and it's really loud. The current divider is a swing divider. It falls over when there's 4 marbles, weighing down the counterweight. I've been thinking about perhaps replacing the current divider for something more silent and something more stable and something more resilient, because if something gets stuck in the current divider, it's end of concert. On the Wintergatan Discord server, there's been a channel called Divide by N, and in this channel, the community have been coming up with the most mind-blowing prototypes and design ideas. It's really interesting seeing how many solutions there is to one of the same problem. These are all flip-flops, and this one we found on YouTube. We actually had a divide by 4 on the original Marble Machine. Inside the machine was this 3 flip-flops. So the vertical flip-flops in this configuration will accurately divide one row of marbles onto 4 channels. During this week, I built a couple of prototypes. This was the first one. It's the same system, but flat. When the marbles are too fast, it takes them 2 by 2, and it's not super accurate. I added a stop so only one marble can fit on the flipper at one time, and this really works. This is a high-performing flip-flop designed by James C on Discord, but thanks to the surrounding walls, even though it seems to work 100% perfect, it has a theoretical possibility of getting clogged.
Okay, so releasing. So that's pretty rapid.
Inspired by James' flip-flop, I built my second prototype here. Here we go. The prototype works well, but I don't trust the marbles to behave over a long period of time. I know from tough experiences that I shouldn't trust a few small little tests. I want to build something resilient that will work forever. So that's the flip-flops. Let's look at the second category, balanced swings. The current divide by 4 is of the swing type, and earlier in the project I actually built a divide by 8 of the swing type. You can see how the pressure from the incoming marbles is messing up the swing action. That's one of the problems to solve for this design. This swing design by Rossero has a movable counterweight. The moving counterweight makes the tipping action more stable, as it gives the marbles more time to exit the swing and then falls back more reliably. Here's another swing by Rossero, and this is directly powered by the fish there, and this I think is one of the mechanically most secure solutions we have. As I see it, there's only one major drawback with this solution, and it's the loading speed. I'm not sure this solution can load the marbles fast enough at high music tempos. On the plus side, it cares a lot for those lonely marbles, which I think is very important. They've been lonely for too long. Next type is catch and triggers, and the first design comes from a famous Marble Machine YouTuber, Dania. It's very elegant.
This is my new and improved marble divider. One catcher, and then as many triggers as you want. It's entirely modular. The first marble enters the first channel. The second marble rolls over the top and then triggers the mechanism, dropping both down at once. And the mechanism can handle lots of marbles at once. I shall now demonstrate using 4. All evenly distributed to their correct sides.
The catch and trigger from Alastair looks super reliable. Here's another catch and trigger from Joe the Legend and Gonsonator 1982. I really like how exposed the mechanism is here. You can really see it, and it has an escapement wheel, which is really cool. Next category is hard to believe, the revolving barrel, one of the most surprising designs I've ever seen. The barrel design has evolved through a beautiful collaboration by a lot of members in the Discord community, so it's difficult to exactly pinpoint who did what in this process. We think the design originated around these posts, and then different members built upon each other's work. It's been such a cool process to see, and I really love this design. One aspect of this design that's been discussed a lot in the community is the indexing of the revolver. The marbles are kind of auto-indexing the revolver, so it always turns exactly 45 degrees. Here's a nice example from Baltojikale with a physically indexed drum.
This is one of the revolver designs. It's spring-loaded. It's really weak spring, and it has some indents on camshaft. It locks position.
Four days ago, I thought I was going to use a flip-flop, but then I saw the barrel design and decided to try to design my own version, and this is the version I designed. And I have to say a huge thanks to everyone on Discord, because when I was designing this, I asked a lot of questions, and I could say everyone in the community had gone deep down the revolver rabbit hole. If I asked about a tiny detail, they could give me answers on millimeters. So it was so cool to see. Like, the community had figured out all the small little kinks that needed to be sorted out, and I could just basically skip prototyping and design a final version based on the knowledge given to me. So for the last 3 days, my plan was to build this revolving barrel until I saw another simpler solution. Y-forks. I've been trying to build Y-forks so many times during my marble machine career that I almost completely given up on them, because for some reason they always clog for me. So I've actually dismissed the whole subject. All of a sudden, a lot of functional Y-forks started to pop up on Discord. This design proves something that I've been suspecting for a while now. The natural state for a marble is to be on the floor. In this prototype from Alex23, we can see that the marbles go to one side more than the other. So this is an awesome example where sharing a physical prototype can give so many good ideas rather than just sharing a sketch. Because Lund, TheMoen and Cole got involved, and Lund CAD'd this version. So this is the infinity divider, and here you can really see that it starts to look what I showed in the beginning of the video. At this point, my mind was blown by the simplicity. No moving parts, and I wanted to try this right away. Lund sent me the CAD files of this design, and I made this prototype. And it kind of worked right away, and the speed is crazy. So I went ahead and CAD'd the series version, and I wanted to CAD this for silence. So I'm using silicone tube on the edges, which works really great. So I got this idea like yesterday when I was supposed to give out a video, and I really wanted to try this first, so that's why the video is 1 day late today. So here you can see some footage from the process. All those holes are for sewing the silicone tubes on. It is easier than what you think. I get a lot of pushback for using silicone tubes. I love them. Absolutely wonderful to work with, and I think the finish of this is actually pretty cool. So I went out into the sunshine and photographed my Formula 1 car against the blue sky. Here happened something magical. I forgot to add this little dividing cone that is in the original CAD. I just forgot it, so I realized it too late, and it proves that it's actually better without it. Because now I can drop a marble, and even when the divider is empty, the first marble will stay, and then the function will start to work. If we go back and see in the prototype, when you drop the marble in an empty lane, that little divider cone made like a skateboard ramp, so the first marble flew over the divider. Once the divider is full, I would prefer to have the cone because it looks like the function is a little bit more stable with the cone than without. What we have created here is a more resilient design, meaning if a marble falls over when it shouldn't and the divider becomes empty, it will be self-aligning. That, my friends, is resilience. This has been the design lesson for me this week. Simplicity, a low part count, the simplest possible solution, and a lot of resilience. Resilience, resilience, resilience. Even though the design problem is trivial, the design lesson I've learned going through this roller coaster this week is non-trivial. I would say it's essential to look at mechanical design from the perspective of resilient functionality. It's like a whole new world for me, right? I've been doing this for 5 years and failing because I was just thinking about how cool things were and I hoped for the best. Now I switched 180 degrees around. Now I just want stuff to be resilient, and the barrel design is cooler, let's face it. But the simplicity of this, no moving part, everything is in a plane, it's easy to see what's going on. The marbles themselves acts as the moving parts needed for the function. It's just aesthetic in another way. It's aesthetic from an engineering point of view, from a simplicity point of view. And until further notice, I'll put this design on the marble machine for next week. And to summarize this, I just want to say I can't summarize how fun it is to work with everyone on Discord. I just want to encourage everyone to come over to the Wintergatan Discord server and go to the Divide by N channel and check out for yourself how much fun we've been having in there. And there's so much diversity of ideas. And it's so cool and inspiring. So welcome everyone to the Wintergatan Discord server. Thanks for everyone who are hanging out on the Wintergatan Discord server, the staff who are doing an amazing job, the whole CAD team who make the whole marble machine CAD files downloadable. Thank you to everyone watching. Thank you to everyone supporting through YouTube memberships and through Patreon. And thanks to the whole Discord community for being such an awesome group of people. In this video, we have only scratched the surface of all the cool designs that are happening inside Discord. I'll leave a link in the description. Have a wonderful day, everyone. See you in the next one.